violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's a Black Gen Z mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
Backlash continues to grow over that viral snub at Sesame Place, and this afternoon, the families of two young black girls at the center of that viral video, they are demanding the theme park take more action to make amends about this. Race and culture reporter Taronda Thomas, she is live for us there at Sesame Place in Langhorne with emotional reaction from the family. Taronda, what did they have to say?
Emotional indeed, Gray. You know, the family has not filed a lawsuit, but they have hired a lawyer to investigate what happened here at Sesame Place. They say the incident was racially biased and was not isolated.
Oh, God. So now Sesame Place is under, they are being investigated for a racially motivated member of their staff snubbing, high-fiving, or even acknowledging black kids at the park. This one is going to be interesting, guys, so buckle up.
Sunny days, just like the song says.
Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street?
But some allege that once kids get to Sesame Place, not all are welcomed.
To be rejected and to leave your park feeling inferior.
It's a heavy allegation from the attorney representing.
Boy, these dudes, they will find a case and take it as far as they can go. Look at my son in the background. Oh my God, they got my son, the general, in that mug. And, you know, I'm going to wait to show you guys the video of what actually happened, but I have a funny feeling about this situation.
Representing the family of these two 6-year-old girls, snubbed, they say, by a Sesame Place character, while white children got hugs and high fives. Jody Brown says she, her daughter Skylar, and her niece Nyla left Sesame Place last Saturday feeling dejected.
And me, my niece, and my daughter have all suffered one, embarrassment, discriminatory behavior.
That feeling only got worse when Sesame Place issued its initial statement saying the character Rosita was shaking her head no in response to another child's request to be picked up.
Ooh. So they're saying that a child was asking to be picked up and then they said no. It had nothing to do with race. That's what Sesame Place is claiming. But, you know, let's watch the whole thing before we cast judgment.
We saw it with our own eyes. And so the statement that they put out.
Not Tamika Mallory. Hold on. Is this Tamika Mallory? Oh, no. This is Sydney Moore.
Was a disrespect. It was a slap in the face.
I don't think I ever heard of her.
The snub, they say, was racially motivated, and it wasn't the only one.
But in so many more that have come forward.
Among them, Sydney Moore from North Carolina, who came to Sesame Place on July 8th.
That was just like.
Okay, so that was Sydney Moore. Okay, I was right. That was Tamika Mallory. I mean, y'all don't get tired of this stuff. Black Lives Matter was proven to be a failure, yet they're still out here protesting in the streets, and people are still taking them seriously.
Did that really happen?
Her 2-year-old son, MJ, also ignored by the same character.
Rosita just blatantly walked past him, ignored him, and kind of like flipped the hand and kept going.
Sesame Place, which is owned by SeaWorld Parks and Entertainment, acknowledged what happened is not okay. In a new statement, they say, quote, "We will conduct training for our employees so they better understand, recognize, and deliver an inclusive, equitable, and entertaining experience for our guests. But for this family, it's too little, too late."
Unfortunately, discrimination is in another area of our society, and it must be rooted out.
Lord have mercy. So what y'all gonna do? Are we gonna demask them like Scooby-Doo? Who's under the mask? White supremacists, right? No. We're gonna take further looks at these videos, and like I said, I've got a funny feeling about this one.
The family wants a sincere apology. They want coverage for any emotional care the girl may need and for the employee to be fired. Now, the lawyer is giving...
Of course they want a bag.
Sesame Place until the end of the day to respond. He says if they don't, he'll release more evidence to show that this incident was racially biased. In Langhorne, Taronda Thomas, Channel 6 Action News. Sarah?
Yeah, we'll see where this goes next. Taronda, thank you.
So this mom of two young black girls, say that her daughters were intentionally dismissed by a performer dressed as a Sesame Street character.
It's crazy because they never mention the race unless it is some type of racially motivated situation. How many stories have we done on this channel where they just omit the description altogether? It's not even strictly about the race, but they just omit the whole description. And now you see they are not mincing words when it comes to describing what happened at Sesame Place.
Take a look at this video. It has gone viral on social media. Now you can see the character seems to wave the girls away. Wait for it right here. That's the moment that she says broke her daughter's heart when the girls were asking for a hug. The character then hugs a white child, and it has sparked a fierce backlash online, including...
All right, watch it, because we're going to watch some other footage.
From a prominent civil rights attorney who calls the video, quote, disgusting. We asked Sesame Place for a response, and here's what they said, quote... But
look, they were already wagging the finger no before he even got to the black girls. So watch slowly.
Sincerely
high five.
For the...
Oh, hold on. I'm going to run it back. Let me see. Let me turn the sound off. All right, watch slowly. High five. High five. God damn it. Hold on. Let me rewind it more. All right, here we go. We got the high five. High five. And then, boom. Wagging the finger. Not even looking at the girls, but he's already wagging the finger. Okay? Saying no or whatever. I can't really... There's no audio. Well, there is audio, but not on the news clip. But already wagging the finger, you can see the head is turned, not even looking at the girls. Okay?
Asked Sesame Place for a response, and here's what they said, quote, we sincerely apologize for the family, or to the family, for their experience in our park on Saturday. We know it is not okay. We are taking actions to do better. We are committed to making this right. We will conduct training for our employees so that they better understand, recognize, and deliver an inclusive, equitable, and entertaining experience to our guests. We are committed to doing a better job making children and families feel special, seen, and included when they come to our parks, end quote. So the park says this performer was making the no gesture to someone else in the crowd who had repeatedly asked for Rosita, the name of the character, to hold their child for pictures, which is not allowed. Of course, we're going to stay on top of how the story develops. In our newsroom, Lucy Bustamante, NBC 10.
There last week ended with a hurtful and humiliating racial snub by one of the park's costume characters, and they are not accepting the park's initial apology. Here's CBS's Jerika Duncan.
After Sesame Place character Rosita walked past 6-year-old Skylar and Nyla on Saturday, Jody Brown...
So basically, they're saying that Rosita denied picking up a child because it looked like those children, Slick wanted to be picked up. You could see one of the little girls holding out her arms. Woo, I'm tired tonight, y'all, but holding out her arms, trying to get a hug. I don't think that this was racially motivated, honestly. I really don't.
Shared it on Instagram from singer Kelly Rowland.
She deserves an explanation.
To civil rights attorney Ben Crump,
oh,
more
God.
than 15,000 people have commented.
The apologies were not genuine.
Today,
where's the GoFundMe? I mean, do they have the GoFundMe up already?
Brown, alongside her attorney, B. Ivory Lamar, called for the firing of the employee who appeared to ignore her daughter and niece.
We want a genuine an authentic apology. Okay? We want the acceptance of responsibility here.
Sesame Place, owned by SeaWorld Parks and Entertainment, posted 2 statements. The first one said the performer portraying the Rosita character confirmed that the no hand gesture seen several times in the video was not directed to any specific person. Rather, it was a response to multiple requests to hold a child for a photo, which is not permitted.
And you know what? I think they're telling the truth. I think they're telling the truth. I really do. And everybody is trying to make a fuss out of this. As you can see, the hashtags Black Children Matter, Black Families Matter, Black Dollars Matter, all this kind of stuff. And I'm willing to bet that I think that there was an ethnic person under that suit, you know. From my experience, like watching these mascots and all these, like, they're usually very diverse group of people. Okay, it's not just white people under the mask. Okay, so for them to just assume that it was racially motivated when you don't even know the race of the character or the person who's under or playing the character, then I think you're jumping to conclusions. And if they actually divulge the identity of this character, I'm sure that we will see that this person is this person and others have a diverse background.
They posted a second statement the next day, which started with an apology to the family and plans to take action to do better.
How do you know?
The characters are licensed from Sesame Workshop, the nonprofit best known for producing Sesame Street and its cast of inclusive and diverse characters. Today, in a statement to CBS News, the Sesame Workshop said in part, it's unacceptable that our beloved characters and brand have contributed in any way to the pain and hurt of any child or family.
Sesame Place had an opportunity to see that video at that time. They chose to dismiss this family.
Well, I'm telling you, watch it. Play it in slow motion. He was wagging the finger no, or she was wagging the finger no before the kids even got, or before he even looked at the kids.
Jody Brown's attorney shared.
Damn, they keep cutting it off, but if you watch it slowly like we just did in the last clip, you'll see.
With me another video that has yet to be released. In that video, you can see the Rosita character acknowledge another child right after passing those 2 girls. And Nora, Jody Brown says that other child was not black.
Drake Duncan, thank you.
Growing outrage after a video appears to show a costumed character from the theme park Sesame Place ignoring 2 little black girls trying to reach out for a high five.
The video also shows that same character interacting with other non-black children just moments before. Look at the confusion.
So you saw it, we broke it down.
On these little girls' faces. CNN National.
This one looks like she wants to be picked up, which is against their policy.
Correspondent Bryn Gingras is here with more. Bryn, how does Sesame Place explain what we see there?
Yeah, they offer and say it's misunderstanding. I'll get to that in just a minute, but let's first discuss what the mother who actually recorded this video says happened. Now, she's the mother to one of those little girls, the aunt to the other.
And why are we just automatically believing this mother? She obviously wanted some clout. She obviously wanted a show, and that's what she's getting.
She says they were at Sesame Place, which is a theme park outside of Philadelphia, over the weekend. And as you can see, we're at the parade when she says that you can clearly see that Rosita, gives a high five to the person next to them who is white. And then she says blatantly ignores the 2 little girls and alleges racism. Now, she says she tried to get the park's attention, tried to talk to a supervisor. That wasn't heard. So she posted this video along with her explanation on social media. When, well, that was heard by hundreds of thousands of people. It went viral. And the park did respond, as you asked, Allison. Essentially, the park said in part this: our brand, our park, and our employees stand for inclusivity and equality in all forms. That is what Sesame Place is about, and we do not tolerate any behaviors in our parks that are contrary to that commitment. And they offered this, saying it was a misunderstanding, that they talked to the performer who was sorry about this, felt bad about it. They said that they were actually saying no to a person who was asking for a photo op by holding a child, which the park does not allow. They also said, it's possible because of the costume they didn't see these 2 little girls. So again,
and the first finger wag, it looked like he didn't see the little girls, but when the head tilts down, it looks like he was confirming, hey, no, we can't do pickups, or he, she, whoever. We can't pick you up. We can't do this. We go, okay, so that's what it looks like to me.
Again, this went viral. They offered up a second apology to the family in another statement. But as we know, this family has now hired an attorney, and they're not putting this to rest.
All right, Bryn Gingras, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm joined now by Jody Brown, the mother and aunt of those little girls. You see her there in the video, and her lawyer, B. Ivory Lamar. Thank you for being with us. Bryn walked us right up until the moment of that denial from the character. Tell us what happened, and when that.
And this just goes to show, they want to be. It's like you want validation so bad that you're willing to, because honestly, I think that they're making a fool of themselves, turning this situation into something it's not. But I definitely think they're crying wolf, and it is another mild form of the Jussie Smollett effect. But you want validation so bad from the gliders that you're out here crying that a Sesame Street character did not give your kid a high five. I mean, so much so that you're going to hire a lawyer. And then I actually heard that they're not even going to look for punitive damages because they don't want to put the kids through a deposition and whatnot, which to me, it sounds like they don't want to have to coach those kids to saying what they want them to say, because you best believe they're going to sit them down and talk to them and say, hey, they didn't give you a handshake. They didn't give you a high five because you were black. And I just do not think that's the case. And I don't think that's something that you should ingrain in kids that young.
That moment happened. What went through your mind?
One, I couldn't believe that it happened. It's a child theme park. The kids are supposed to be, happy and, acknowledged and greeted and having a good time. So the fact that this even happened, the fact that this is even going to be a core memory for them when it comes to Sesame Place is actually disgusting and unbelievable.
And they're going to grow up and be the biggest social justice warrior sisters, I'm telling you. They're going to look back and be like, well, I was the one at the Sesame Street who got snubbed for the handshake, and I was just a little girl, and it traumatized me. Oh, my God. I can see it now. When literally the mother is pretty much the only reason why they think that character snubbed them, because they were black. They probably had a whole nother idea in their head as to why the character did not give them a high five. But as you can see, the little girl to the left is, openly reaching out for a hug.
Unbelievable to me. I, of course, didn't expect that to happen. As I'm recording, I'm just trying to get their reactions, because as everyone can see, they're so excited. So to see the family next to me be acknowledged, and to have them be ignored, and then the family right next to us be acknowledged, at that point, I have already stopped the video. It was heartbreaking. And in the video, you can also see how sad the children are.
Yeah. You say that, and we've talked around it, I want to be explicit here. You believe that whomever is in that costume did not high-five your daughter and niece, didn't hug Skylar and Nyla because they're little black girls.
Watch that person in the costume not even be white. Just watch.
Yes, because as you can see, now that I spoke up and released my video, now there's multiple parents who have similar videos with that character doing the same thing to the same race of children. So for me, that's not a coincidence at all. It's absolutely disgusting, and I do feel like the organization honestly really and truly need to accept accountability.
Jody, you see they're crestfallen and disappointed after the Rosita character walks by. Did they say anything to you about that moment?
The character itself?
No, the girls.
The no-hand gesture. The girls, in that moment, they're just, sad, like, how come he didn't, give me a high five? What did we do? As you can see, my niece is still reaching out for him. So in that moment, you want to console the children, to tell them, like, it's okay, like, you didn't do anything wrong. Some people are just not good people, but for every bad person, there's going to be 100 more good people.
So she convinced them that the Rosita character was not a good person. Whoever was under that mask was not a good person.
And love is always going to, outweigh hate. But I shouldn't have these conversations with 2 6-year-old children. That's ridiculous.
Well, the family who has garnered national attention after they say their little girls were snubbed by a Sesame Place character has officially hired an attorney. And tonight, for the first time, we are hearing from that mom and her attorney. Here's our Hank Flynn.
The families that claim their daughters were stiffed for a hello by Rosita the Muppet here at Sesame Place on Saturday have lawyered up. The park has issued a statement responding to that viral video, but that brought others showing what they say are similar experiences. Lawyers for the families say it's a culture problem they'll address in court. Mom took it to the air today.
When it first happened, my daughter kind of just was like, Mom, what happened? What do we do?
It happened Saturday in a video now viral. Rosita the Muppet dancing toward 2 waiting little girls, high-fiving people. Suddenly, it's an apparent no to an unseen person, then what appears to be a no to the waiting girls. Mom Jody Brown told TMZ Tuesday after.
So the character said no to 3 people total. We don't know who the unseen person was, but I'm pretty sure that no carried on to these little girls as well. For whatever that first person was asking, I believe maybe the character thought that these kids were with them and whatnot, and they weren't trying to hug or violate the policy.
Afternoon, it left her in a hard place.
I was so upset in that moment that I'm like, I now have to explain to 2 6-year-olds why a Sesame Street character, which, they shouldn't even be experiencing something like this from, just completely bypass them as they watch this character.
Her attorney, B. Ivory Lamar, told us today the hard part happens after the camera cuts.
Now let me present this. Let's just say it was a racially motivated snub. Okay, the character bypassed the little black girls on purpose because they were little black girls. Okay. All right, let's just go down through that thought process. Do you think that maybe they had reacted in that way because of what happened earlier in that day or prior experiences at the park? I mean, the reality is this is in Philly, so y'all know how they getting down in Philly. It's very interesting. I did hear on another podcast that maybe people are fed up, maybe people are tired of what's going on in Philly, and they unrightfully so misdirected that anger at these young girls, which I don't think is the case. I think it was an honest mistake, in my opinion. But, I just wanted to present that line of thinking and see what you guys thought about it.
Video cuts off. That same performer immediately went and hugged another Caucasian girl that stood beside those 2 black girls. I think that's very disturbing, and I think it also goes to show intent.
So that part wasn't on the film. We're having to take what they're saying at face value. That Rosita went and hugged another Caucasian family. We don't know. We don't know because we didn't see it. We're just taking the mom's word for what it is, okay? And you really don't know if she is extrapolating on what actually happened, if she is exacerbating the situation, or if she's honestly, keeping it a buck the whole way through, telling the story how it happened, nothing but the truth.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Medgar Evers, and it's a very tranquil scene compared to just a couple hours ago where a drive-by shooting just took place. Excuse me, I'm getting live updates as we speak. I've just been updated to the amount of casualties from this drive-by shooting, and I'm getting reports that 2 people were actually declared deceased and 27 others were shot and injured but are in stable condition. And although we must pray for the families of the fallen, we must also praise God for the aim of the super gremlin. If you want to know more about the victims of this crime, make sure you add BGZM News 17 on Patreon at www.patreon.com/blackgenzmindset. Also, don't forget to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and comment on the video to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this son violence in the streets. For more hard-hitting news coverage from the community, by the community, I'm Janquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
And cut.
All right, dog. Let's get the out of here before these niggas come back.
Whoa. Yo!
Whoa.
Ain't that nigga J?
Nah, that ain't me. That ain't me.
He just went live
That
with
ain't
that
me.
funky ass suit on.
That's that nigga. That's not me.
Hey, get that nigga.
Janquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia. Pray for me.
Bypass them as they watch this character.
Her attorney, B. Ivory Lamar, told us today the hard part happens after the camera cuts.
When the video cuts off, that same performer immediately went and hugged another Caucasian girl that stood beside those two black girls. I think that's very disturbing, and I think it also goes to show intent.
Sesame Place first issued a statement calling the girls' experience unacceptable and a misunderstanding. That statement was met online with other videos, including this one where a mom says an employee in a Rosita costume bypasses an obvious fan in favor of another. Lamar told us his clients want a real apology, the employee fired, and for the park to be liable so it doesn't repeat itself.
What we're here for is justice. We want to get Sesame Place to take accountability for what we consider to be egregious acts of their employee, with the specific intention to dismiss these patrons that resulted in severe harm to them.
Now, Sesame Place did issue a second statement, one saying that it's trying to do better. They are undertaking education and instruction of employees to deliver and understand a better experience. They did not, however, respond to allegations from Mr. Lamar or Ms. Brown by News Time. In Langhorne, Hank Flynn, Fox 29 News.
All right, well, we want to go now to a video that went viral at a Sesame Street parade.
One of the characters appears to ignore two black children at the event. Local 10's Gio Signaris is in the newsroom with the apology and new changes for the staff.
Janice Christie, quick and fierce reaction, not just from the mother of those children, but from activists and others across the country. Now the theme park vowing to try and make sure something like this doesn't happen again.
An apology from Sesame Place, a Sesame Street-themed amusement park in Philadelphia, after significant outrage when a character seemed to ignore two young black girls calling for its attention. In the now viral video shared by the girl's mother on Instagram, the character Rosita is clearly waving and giving people high fives as she approaches the girls reaching out to her, when Rosita seemingly shakes her head, hand waves no, and walks away. The mom captioning the video, calling it disgusting, and saying she will never step foot in Sesame Place again. In response, Sesame Place Philadelphia released this statement, saying in part, quote, "Our brand, our park, and our employees stand for inclusivity and equality in all forms. That is what Sesame Place is about, and we do not tolerate any behaviors in our parks that are contrary to that commitment." Going on to explain that, quote, "The costumes our performers wear sometimes make it difficult to see at lower levels, and sometimes our performers miss hug requests from guests," adding that the performer portraying Rosita did not intentionally ignore the girls. But after saying they invited the family back to the park for a special meet and greet with the characters, and amid a wave of criticism following the now viral video and that initial statement, Sesame Place released a follow-up statement on Monday night, saying this was not okay and that they will work to make things right. Quote, "We sincerely apologize to the family for their experience. We know that it's not okay. We will conduct training for our employees so they better understand, recognize, and deliver an inclusive, equitable, and entertaining experience to our guests." The original video has gotten more than 500,000 views on Instagram, and a repost of the same video on Twitter has gotten more than 8.5 million views so far. And according to TMZ, the family has now gotten an attorney to investigate the situation and even potentially sue. In the newsroom, I'm Gio Insignares, Local 10 News.
All right, guys, so I did want to show you the reaction from Kelly Rowland and celebrities, and then we're going to watch some more footage. So this is the full footage. said no. Straight dubbed him. Now we're going to listen to some celebrity response. Kelly Rowland.
Okay, so had that been me, that whole parade would have been in flames. Like, are you serious? You're not gonna speak to my child? And did you see that baby's face at the end, the little one with the pink on? She deserves an explanation. Hello?
Okay, so that was her take. There we have it again. This is the mom. She's basically thanking people for the support. I thought I had, and she, this is what her initial post when she put it on blast. We're not gonna read it all, but I thought that there was some more footage. So let me see if I can find it.
I'm not certain what would possess somebody to push a child down like this.
Okay, so this one was crazy. We gonna break this one. This one was wild. You have the purple fella run up to this little girl, and it looks like he was trying to clear her from this path. It looks like you're not supposed to cross the yellow line, and it looked like she was about to. And he kind of shoves her down with his waist. So let's watch.
But this is completely unacceptable.
Straight. That was wild. All right, so we got I want to say this is Elmer, something like that, right? So dap that one. He said, "Oh hell nah." Okay, so I don't know if they're saying that he said "Oh hell nah" or the person who is filming it said "Oh hell nah," but as you can see, Elmer straight dubbed this sister. Now you can't really tell the race on these kids. Let's see. So they didn't give a high five, but you can't really tell. But like I said, I think a lot of these people under these suits are not white. So, and you know, just the way that this one is moving, it doesn't look like, and I know that's a stretch to kind of tell. Even with this one, like the way that they had ran up on the little girl, I think that this was a, I don't think that this was a glider, honestly.
I'm not certain what would possess somebody to push a child down like this, but
like the way that they was walking, the swag, the flailing of the hands, like making themselves big. I don't think that that was a glider. Honestly, look at the walk. Let's run the walk back. This is a person in a full costume and they're walking like they're busting slack. Watch.
I'm not certain what would possess somebody to push a child down like this, but this is completely unacceptable.
That is, I'm going to go ahead and call it. That's definitely a black person in that suit. The way that they walked, run it back. There's no way that is a white person. Maybe it could be Hispanic, but the pimp walk was too good.
I'm not certain what would possess somebody to push a child down like this, but this is completely unacceptable.
Okay, so this one too, the way that they did the "Oh hell nah," like the person who was filming had said, maybe they had prior beef with this girl too. So let's run it back. This one, I'm trying to see the hand. Boom. So if you rewind it, this is a black person right here, because the one that high-fived this person, look, you can see that their hand is black. You can barely see it. It just comes in right behind the hoodie. You can see that the hand is black, okay? You can see that the hand is black. So I don't think that this is racially motivated at all. Maybe this girl was acting up earlier during the show, and that's why she got snubbed. And that's very likely because some of these kids be having really bad attitudes. But you can see when this high five is the character high-fiving with another black person. And he said, "Oh nah," and just walked straight past her. Okay, so as you can see, look, these kids right here are black. And sometimes the characters will play with you like that, you know? That's the reality.
Wow, he went to the white people.
So they're trying to stretch it. They're trying to reach with that. But I don't know, guys. Let's watch it one more time and y'all give a final judgment. Give me a race on each character. Let me know who y'all think is under each character.
I'm not certain what would possess somebody to push a child down like this, but this is completely unacceptable.
That was crazy. Oh, man.
Wow, he went to the white people.
Gang violence and other kind of violence. So it is what it is.